And welcome back to Let's Play Resident Evil 4. Arriving back in the castle, just off of the elevator that we got on at the end of the previous stage, heading over here, there is actually a very funny small difference I can highlight once we show off some things in the HD version, but that's not too important. We get some handgun ammo right there, and heading out into here, we are going to want to break open a few of these vases real quick. There is actually something, I have to remember specifically where it is. One of the Velvet Blues here, and I'm not too sure if it's the one I just grabbed or not, but it is actually a rare instance of a treasure that is exclusive to the GameCube version, not present in the PS2 version, but was restored in the Wii version. Hello. Well, I guess it's nice to have a degree of self-confidence, but I feel like we're getting a little carried away here, Salazar. This seems a little, more than a little indulgent. Whatever, I'm not gonna think too hard on the logistics of this. Unfortunately, we are not really given a choice here. We get to examine this statue in its full glory. Hey, it's an animatronic, heck yeah! Well, you know what? I mean, if I was a deranged Castellan with a army of parasitic-infested zealots who obeyed my every whim, maybe I too would make a giant robot statue of myself. Why not? Why not? Anyway, we're going to be making heavy use of our striker here, as we have a decent amount of ammo for it, and we have a bunch of enemies coming up who are reasonably vulnerable to it. I do want to check every enemy for item drops here, because we're a little light on shotgun ammo, so any more that I could get would be much appreciated. We'll send that guy to the canvas real quick. I know it's not canvas, it is, ornate stone. It's quite nice, actually. The architecture here is stunning. They do a good upkeep on this castle, but the saying they are to the canvas, you know, that's an actual expression there. Let me have this, okay? Come on, give me some shotgun ammo. Some money is fine enough, I'll take it. Anyways, these guys are moving along the hands of the giant animatronic Salazar here. We, too, have to take our opportunity to get across using this. We'll just send this guy down. Oh, right in the back, too. Yeah, there are some crossbow guys deciding to take shots at you. We're going to throw this lever here. You can also shoot it. This lever actually does not do anything until the statue is in motion, so keep that in mind. And just immediately launch all those guys down to the ground. The fall damage takes them out. I do want to move quickly here so I can hopefully get those bullets before they have a chance to despawn. It is possible to screw up your jumps and fall there, so jump carefully, jump carefully. Let's grab this Velvet Blue here. I think that might be the one that is missing from the PS2 version. Again, pretty funny. We want to go grab those items, so real quick, I'm just going to throw the lever here. This will send up a bit of the bridge and also open the gate, allowing us to grab these items here, so let's do so. Flash grenade and rifle ammo is fine. Bunch of guys drop down at this point, so be prepared for that. They do not do too well against the striker. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about this red guy producing a parasite. Goodness gracious, the carnage here, the carnage. But he does produce 5,000 potatoes for it. There we go, that's what I was hoping for. Thank you, you are so gracious. Let's grab this shotgun ammo here. Alright, we're doing good, we're doing good. We're getting back all the shells that we're utilizing here, which admittedly is not that big a deal considering the kind of upgrades available for the striker. Actually, whoa, hey. First order of business. Let me see here. We're going to get our rifle out. Of course, we've got a guy up top taking shots at me, so we would like to get rid of him if I could. Where is he? Oh, he's off to the left. Gotta get into a better position. Wait for the 2 shots to go, and then look for him. Where the heck is he? I know he's firing from up there. Where is he? Forget it. I can't see him from this angle, but he can see me, and it's irritating. There we go. We've managed to avoid falling so far, which is wonderful. I appreciate I'm not making a complete fool of myself. Okay, there he is. Goodness gracious. Weird position for that guy. If I can just get around the pillar, no. Oh, and we got a guy from down below who's... Oh my god! This looks like I can peek out, but I can't. Is there 2 guys over there? Well, now there's only 1. Let's see. Of course. There's the other guy. I probably could have seen that guy from down below also. There we go. Sorry, I was getting a little tilted there. It's like, where are these guys? Alright, some money there. Heading over this way. We will want to, of course, pop open this little vase here. I don't feel like pointing down with my knife, so we are just going to shoot it to open it. There we go. For a given definition of the term open, I suppose. Throw this lever here, and now the Salazar statue will gain a different motion for its hands. It will raise them to the upper levels and then bring them together so we can jump across and get to the other side without reactivating the other lever, though you can do that if you so desire. We'll jump over here and hopefully... Ooh, that was a little risky there. With my low health, if he managed to get that swing off, I probably would have died, so... Going with God here, but hey, sometimes it's a little fun, you know? We're actually going to let these guys get close so I don't send them to the ground immediately, just so I can loot their corpses a bit more efficiently. Not have to waste any time getting down below. There we go. As you can see, the Striker is boasting some impressive power at this stage, doing quite well for us, and I'm all the more happy for it. Another Spinel right here. Let me use up one of our healing items so that I'm moving a little bit more quickly. We're going to be getting another first aid spray later, so I may as well just use the one we have right now. It's not like it's any different than a combined green and red herb, but you know. Anyways, at this point, we can just deliberately let ourselves fall. And I could stick around to kill these guys, but let's just move on. I'm sure we won't be getting chased by a giant robot statue of an albino little person. Tempting fate every single time. Yeah, you've probably seen reference to this part before, even if you've never played this game before, in the unlikely chance that you haven't. But yes, we've got a giant Salazar robot chasing us here. Let's just blast through this padlock right here. And you don't think you're getting away that easy, do you? Yeah, he's got some serious punching power there. He's getting through that door alongside you. Fortunately, we don't have to run much longer because we've got to take another jump here. Hey, weren't we just in this situation in the previous chapter? Recycled content, I swear. Okay, admittedly, if I had to choose between which one was a bit more esoteric, being chased by a giant Salazar robot or jumping off of a minecart, I suppose this one would be the stranger situation to find myself in. You may be wondering how Leon found himself in this situation. Well, it's quite the story.
So nice you could join us, Mr. Scott Kennedy.
You again.
The sacred rite that's about to begin at this tower shall endow the girl with magnificent power. She will join us, become one of us.
This is no ritual. It's terrorism.
Isn't that a popular word these days? Not to worry. We've prepared a special ritual for you.
It is so heartbreaking to see the friendship between Leon and Salazar break down like that. Excellent opportunity for Leon to be hoisted by his own petard there. Anyway, a very easy to miss treasure chest right here with a yellow herb for you, so be sure to grab that if you want to get max health upgrades. And I do kind of want to have max health. It'll certainly come in handy later. Anyways, heading up, if you didn't think this level was goofy enough, well, once you step over this threshold here... Hey, anybody ever played Donkey Kong before? Yes, we've got giant barrels being dropped down at us. So, for this case, this is another situation where if you skip the cutscene, you can get a little bit of a advantage on outrunning that barrel, but I would rather just wait for it to fall down since I actually watched the cutscene. We will take this guy down with a striker shot, and what the heck, double up on that. I'm sure he appreciates it, you know, that I'm taking him seriously, giving him the most possible. I don't know if it's actually possible to shoot these guys off of this walkway, though it would be pretty funny. Although, also a bit unfortunate, because if they dropped anything, well, I ain't going back down to grab that. I do not feel like dodging barrels. We can't just jump over them for points in this game, though you can actually shoot them. With the striker, you should be able to break them down. As you can see, we've got another bunch of guys here. One very funny thing that this can happen, so watch where this is positioned. When you drop a barrel down, be very, very careful when you go forward on it, because you can actually hit yourself in the head, and I have seen this guy operating the trap do that to himself before. Needless to say, it was pretty entertaining. We will send down one more barrel, just in case any more guys are coming up the staircase. We do want to move a little bit quickly here. As you can see, there is at least one guy throwing some dynamite up top at us. Want to get this shotgun ammo, this money, and now we want to quickly take the opportunity to push these boxes off of here. Depending on how quick you are, there are some guys who might come up and try to hop onto the lift with you, but we managed to avoid that. Speaking of guys and the lift, there are going to be some guys throwing dynamite and some guys shooting us with crossbows. The dynamite guy, is not a problem. The crossbow guys are a problem, but thankfully they can be defeated with just one shot. We're also not going to be alone on this elevator ride. That guy goes for his dynamite toss there, but he just doesn't have the arm to actually get it over to us. We do have a weight allowance on this lift here, so be mindful of that. I took a little bit of damage, so this is a good opportunity to actually use this green herb and yellow herb to give myself a little top off and get a health upgrade there. Yeah, nice try with the dynamite toss there. Anyways, this is not a particularly difficult sequence. These guys will gladly just hop in front of you so you can just lay into them with the striker. Honestly, it's kind of fun. Just stick to a corner of the lift and wait for all the guys to jump in. Then you can just send them to the opposite corner and take them out like so. And we may as well rotate around. Hey, some TMP ammo. Actually, been quite a while since we've seen some of that. We had that really good luck with it early on in the LP, and then it has just not been going so well. Hey, hold on. I didn't say you could spawn a parasite, okay? Take more shotgun shells there. Game is being awfully generous with them. But the item spawns do actually scale to... oh god! I thought that guy's parasite was gone. Thankfully, that ended up not being a problem. And with that, we have made it to the top of the lift. And hey, some magnum ammo. Heck yeah. I'll actually help out quite a bit coming up soon. So let's just continue on here and break every barrel that we come across, get some more TMP ammo, which I do actually want to have for this upcoming battle we are going to be getting into. Let us, once again, just break some more, I said break the barrels here. Bunch of handgun ammo, also going to come in handy for this upcoming fight. Bunch of shot, oh wait, that was a waste. We might have had a striker upgrade coming up here. Got a little eager to funnel that ammunition into the striker. Happens to the best of us, happens to the best of us. Another very, very easy to miss treasure chest right here. This is another one that I actually had to purchase the treasure map to realize was here, because it is so easy to just walk right past it. It's also not very obvious you can drop down there. Just in general, like visually, it's not obvious, but also the hit detection for the drop down prompt is a little weird for that specific spot. Alrighty, we have made it to the top of the tower. Presumably Salazar is waiting for us here for a final encounter. And of course the merchant is here to help us out once more. Get some rifle ammo here, some TMP ammo, a first aid spray, and a few more magnum shells, or magnum rounds, which this is going to be the last time we're using the broken butterfly. It's not going to be super relevant in this fight, but it will come up it will do a decent amount for us with those 8 bullets. Like I said, I'm not going to buy any more broken butterfly upgrades. Speaking of upgrades, let's just look here. The Red 9 has some upgrades available. Nothing else can have its upgrades purchased. We'll sell off this incendiary grenade as well as this hand grenade. We don't need these anymore, so easy pesetas to be made there. We will also sell off all our treasure preemptively. We will have an opportunity to use this money in a bit, but right now it is just going to be burning a hole in our pocket. The scaling is kicked in enough that not even 20,000 pesetas gets us the desired reaction. Sad to see, sad to see. So my main weapons for this are going to be the TMP and the broken butterfly. Once the broken butterfly is out, it'll be the TMP and the blacktail. The semi-auto rifle can also be used to pretty good effect here. What am I even talking about? Well, let's just head on in and see.
Just missed her. The ritual is over. She left with my men to an island.
What?
I think it's time I paid my due respects towards your impressive and stubborn will. Mr. Kennedy, welcome.
monsters. Guess after this, there'll be one less to worry about.
That was like a 5 out of 10, Leon. Anyway, so as you can see, we've got a Kaiju Salazar. This is one of the few times where such a transformation doesn't really completely violate the laws of conservation of mass. Anyway, so for this fight, there's going to be 3 tentacles, 2 off to the side, 1 to the left, 1 to the right, and the dead center one with a gaping maw that can devour you in one gulp. Counterintuitively, we want to stand in front of the gaping maw since we need to shoot that eyeball that it has in order to make Salazar vulnerable. Getting off to the sides is not a good idea, as we just leave ourselves vulnerable to the other tentacles, though you do get QTs to dodge them. When you deal enough damage to the eye on the central tentacle, Salazar will become vulnerable at that point, so we can use our broken butterfly to plant a bunch of shots into him. Missed one there. That's a bit of a waste. Whoop! Sometimes the QT for the other tentacles will trigger anyway. So we just want to plant as many TMP shots as possible into the eye of the central tentacle. Whoop. And wow, no! Unfortunate, unfortunate. Yeah, that is why I want to stick to the center there. The side tentacles can be incredibly random. At the bottom level, we actually have infinite biter plaga, or spitter plagas, roaming around, and this allows you to farm items if you are not in a good position. We're in a perfectly fine position, though. Okay, whoop. Let's just move off to the side there. It's actually been a very long time since I've seen the central tentacle do that attack. Sometimes the QT will trigger even though you're not in a position to actually be hit by it. There we go. We got the enough damage done there to make Salazar vulnerable once more. And we will get the 3 shots with the broken butterfly in. And now, counterintuitively, we're actually going to switch to the blacktail, as this will lay out damage very quickly without much recoil, so we can deal a ton of damage to Salazar there. Once the tentacle rises up, we want to just, once again, take a shot on the eye there. Let's reload our blacktail once more, just to make sure we're not running out of bullets while we're trying to take out Salazar. Yeah, and remember to pay attention to the amount of kick you're dealing with there. Get that reloaded, and repeat like so. As you can see, with this little sweet spot right in front of the central tentacle, I don't have to worry about getting attacked all that often. And there we go. He was about to go for the bite there, but I managed to interrupt it. So, once again, blacktail spam. And just a few more bullets, and we should actually have this fight in the bag. Heck yeah. With Salazar defeated, the way forward is open. I did have some pretty bad luck there, as is typical for Let's Plays. At least one mess-up is more than likely going to happen, but hey, we managed to get through that relatively unscathed. That is, again, it demonstrated pretty well why I actually prefer to stick to the center of the room. The QTEs for dodging the side tentacles can be really random and finicky, so I wouldn't really recommend trying to grapple with those. There's also a bunch of items to collect in this lower area here. So let's just search all these real quick. Get some grenades to sell. Again, I don't really care to use grenades anymore. I can also shoot open some of these things with the blacktail. We're going to have some upgrades available very soon, so I don't have to worry about manually loading the gun, and I can conserve the remainder of my handgun ammo. And get this open. I said that the semi-auto rifle was also pretty good in that fight. It is 2 semi-auto rifle shots, if you've been fully upgrading up to this point, will actually disable the central tentacle, and it deals pretty good damage to Salazar. Salazar being very generous with 50,000 pesetas. But I like the blacktail just a little bit more, laying out a bit more damage, and I don't have to worry about Salazar's motions throwing off my aim at all. Granted, maybe I should have used the rifle, because look at all this ammo we've got. Goodness gracious. Sometimes you end up with a bit of a stockpile, I will admit. I'm also going to just use... Actually, no, I'll hang on to that for a second, because we may have a yellow herb coming up soon. And I'll actually have another opportunity to restore my health, come down this ladder and shoot this barrel. If I remember right, I think this is actually the final snake of the game. This time I actually remembered that he was here. Let's take his chicken egg. Okay, maybe that wasn't as much healing as I thought. Remember, raw eggs is actually not a more nutrient-rich way of consuming them. That was not the intent of that scene in Rocky, okay? That was not what Stallone was going for. Anyway, we've got one final merchant for this chapter, and this merchant actually gains new wares. Defeating Salazar is the trigger for a whole bunch of upgrades to become available. Okay, not specifically the trigger, more like running into this guy is that, but whatever, you know what I mean. The last significant thing you do before more upgrades become available is defeat Salazar, and the upgrades this guy will have for us. So, let's go into the tune-up here. We can increase the capacity of the TMP, which I will do so, because there is a situation I'm going to be using it in the next chapter. And as you can see, the exclusive is available for it. For 100,000 pesetas, we can increase the firepower to 1.8. That's 18 damage per second. Even more, well, honestly, it's a damage per second. No, in this version of the game, it is actually considerably more than the Striker. Well, in other versions it's considerably more. In this version, it's just more than the Striker. So that could be pretty good, but I am going to pass on that. As a matter of fact, I mentioned how that was the last time we're going to use the Broken Butterfly. We're selling that off now. Get that out of here.
I'll buy it at a high price.
There we go. We are going to be selling that to fund purchases for another weapon that I plan to buy, plus exclusives for our other guns. Speaking of other guns with exclusives, we could get the exclusive for the Blacktail right now, but the Blacktail's exclusive is pretty bad in this version. In future releases of the game, it is a firepower boost to 4.5. Pretty significant, especially when paired with its high firing speed. You get some pretty considerable DPS out of this. In this version, it's only 3.4. Not worth the 80,000 pesetas, in my opinion. What we really want is the exclusive for the semi-auto rifle, which actually is not available right now, but will be available at the very first merchant we encounter in the next chapter. So I want to save some money for that, because that is also an 80,000 pesetas upgrade. Plus, there's going to be some purchases I want to make from that next merchant. And, of course, we've got some Striker upgrades, maxing out the reload speed here. And what the heck, I'll just bump up the capacity right now. Okay. Yeah, I do want to actually keep my finances in check, so I am not going to buy any of the exclusives we have available right now. And as a matter of fact, the TMP is also going to be sold off very, very soon. Admittedly, it's probably a little financially irresponsible to upgrade it as much as I have, because the situation I plan to use it in isn't super critical, and it really is only super useful if it's upgraded to full, but what the heck, I want to show off all the situations where the TMP is helpful, just to rehabilitate its reputation a little bit. By the way, I hope you like the Velvet Blues and Spinels we got in this chapter. Those were the final ones in the game. No more Spinels and Velvet Blues for the rest of the game. Don't worry, there is something of a replacement coming up for them. Anyway.
Need a ride, handsome?
Okay.
Well, that works out. I appreciate Ada actually coming in with the save there. So, it's not really clear. I didn't really get a chance to mention this because there was so much going on. I'm not really sure what the ritual that was performed on Ashley is. The whole ritual thing is just kind of dropped and forgotten about at this point in the story. Really highlighting how the narrative for this game was written within the span of a few days. But that is it for Chapter 4-4. That is it for Act 4. We are moving on to the final act of the game, Act 5. Can you believe we're there already? Crazy. Yeah, this has been a fast-moving LP, but it's been a blast to make. Granted, Act 5 is going to be incredibly packed, because we're going to be rolling into Act 5 to start. We're not actually going to be checking out separate ways, but once we get into Act 5, we're going to have a ton to go over. In addition to the final two separate ways chapters becoming relevant, we're going to have another side mode to look at, and we're going to have the last of the mercenaries before I finish the game. Incidentally, I've already got the next mercenaries video recorded, so that will be going up shortly after this video is uploaded. Before we move on from this video, though, there's just a couple of things we can look at for fun in the HD version, so why don't we pop over there real quick? So, one funny and minor change. Less handgun ammo here. For whatever reason, there's only one pack. Something I wasn't able to show off also is that if you load into this chapter immediately from clearing the previous chapter, Leon will actually be riding on the elevator, but if you just load the save after quitting the game, for whatever reason, that elevator ride is cut from the chapter introduction. Kinda sad. I wanted to show that off. Oh well. Alright, time to see a variety of humiliating ways for Leon to die. By the way, that one Velvet Blue that I mentioned was missing in the PS2 version. That is also missing in the HD versions, but curiously, it exists in the Wii versions. Anyways, there's Stomp by Robo Salazar there. You can also let yourself be crushed by pillars. And if you are very lethargic here, I mean, you could just sit back and really take in Robo Salazar's movements, but of course... And of course, if you're not particularly on the ball, I mean, you could just drop into the chasm with them. Oh goodness, Leon's not having a good day today. By the way, remember how I mentioned Leon could be hoisted by his own petard? Yeah, that's a bit of an embarrassing way to go. It's so dramatic, too. Come on, Leon. You were asking for that one. Oh, good. Sorry, his death pose is so stupid there. As mentioned before, if you're so inclined, you can just shoot through the Donkey Kong barrels. It's a little perilous to do with other weapons, though the Striker can do it pretty consistently. Also, sometimes the barrels can be on fire. I don't know what determines that, honestly. But hey, it looks cool when it happens, you know? Finally, while we're at it, it's probably worth it to show off Salazar's insta-kill. We'll just bait an attack from him here. This one's pretty fun to see. Come on, go for it. You know you want to do it. Come on. Come on. And yes, you do have to hit that eye to actually damage it. Is he not? There we go. There we go. Boom! It's a pretty grody one, but that's not all we can do while we're here. I'm sure you would love to see Salazar just completely dumpstered with New Game Plus weapons, so why don't we do so? Immediately just unload into the central eye with the Chicago typewriter, and hey, I've got something a little bit spicier here than the broken butterfly, Salazar. What do you think of my hand cannon? Oh yeah. The Chicago typewriter can also deal a pretty significant amount of damage really fast to Salazar, finishing this fight off in one cycle either way, but hey, I put in the effort to get that hand cannon, damn it. Why don't I make use of it? Alright, I think that's all I really need to show for this video, so as always, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you next time. First off, we'll have Weskers in the Mercenaries to get through, but after that, the final act of the game begins. Hope to see you there. Bye-bye.
I don't dispute the doubts you've outlined, but it's my right to waste your time.